everyone, Gaichin Kumba here. You know, back in our old game theory days, MatPat would constantly encourage us to explore other cultures and how they inspire other games. And yeah, we dabbled in that a bit, with most of our extra Japanese topics coming from Zelda, of all things. Don't get me wrong, there's tons of Japanese references in Zelda with near a dozen videos of us covering it, but without a doubt, Miyamoto expanded his influences to other cultures, and boy have we covered a lot of them. From theoretical Central African culture in Majora's Mask, to French influences in Ocarina of Time, to Greek influences in Ocarina of Time, to the original Legend of Zelda and Link's Adventure aping a great deal of iconography from Christianity. And we're still only scratching the surface with possible cultural inspirations within the Zelda franchise. And this is just something we've been thinking a lot about lately, so we absent-mindedly plopped one of those unturned stones of cultural influences in Zelda on our monthly patrons, and man, I still can't believe a cultural dig into Zelda's Gossip Stones won out against Monster Hunter Wilds. Hey, but you know what? It's high time we dig into some other cultures on this show, and we got just the theory for you folks. What?
You know what? Oh, not this again.
You got me a desk for the Flexispot integration? I was just gonna talk about my C7M chair that they sent. Considering how many hours of how many days I've been sitting at my desk working, it's been tremendously helpful. Better than those freaking gamer chairs, that's for sure. The backrest is fully adjustable for quite literally any body type out there. The armrests have freaking 5D positioning, letting me set them to whatever angle and direction I want. Even the headrest has 3 dimensions of adjustability for whatever you'd like. And the memory foam latex seat's still holding up after months of sitting on it for 7 hours a day. And that lumbar and sacrum support's been keeping me from shrimping and tech necking like nothing else. God, speaking of comfort, not only is this thing reclined at the perfect angle, but it comes with a built-in leg rest. And it's also got enough seat width to let me sit cross-legged when I want to. So what makes this desk so... Oh.
The E7L standing desk, my friend. Multiple modes of height adjustment for when you need to stand and stretch your legs while working, lightweight, and still able to support 300 pounds of whatever you put on it. And the fact that it's an L-shaped desk means you can finally utilize that little spot of empty space in the corner of your office you've been complaining about.
Alright, I'll give it a look and get it ready for the integration.
I think we just did, my guy.
Oh, well, fair enough. If you've been itching for a bit of an office makeover, hit up my link in the description and use the code BRANDDAY30 to get $30 off the C7 series chairs and YTE7P50 for $50 off the E7 desk series. This includes the already substantial 60% off site-wide discount for their Brand Day sale. And both these items have a 10-year warranty and a 30-day risk-free return policy.
Alright, can I get back to talking about Zelda's funny rocks?
By all means, I'll just be editing from here.
Thank you. For those of you who read the title, yeah, I'm convinced without a shadow of a doubt that these bizarrely behaved Gossip Stones are 100% of Irish inspiration, or at least Celtic inspiration, and at least within Ocarina of Time, you know, the game of their origin. We're not talking about Skyward Sword or Majora's Mask or any of the others, we're talking about Ocarina of Time. So how? Why? Well, I'll tell you right now, this absolutely isn't the first time Miyamoto wormed in Irish culture in Ocarina of Time. Remember that Epona video we did like 9 years ago on the Theorist channel? Yeah, came to find out that Link's longtime multi-universe steed, Epona, was named after the great Celtic goddess of horses. By the way, link in the description if you missed those old videos. They're privatized now, so it's really the only way to check them out, but it's there. And yeah, we're still only scratching at the surface of how much Celtic folklore this game may end up having. Like the 3 goddesses of Hyrule mirroring the 3 Celtic goddesses of strength, abundance, and change. Anu, Danu, and Talchu? Yeah, when you put those names side by side with Nehru, Din, and Farore, it makes you kinda wonder, doesn't it? Well, don't worry, we'll do a video on it eventually. But for now, I want to pull back just a bit and focus on these weird little stones from Ocarina of Time. Also, a tremendous shout out to Zeltic for getting me this footage. He really got me out of a bind. So, if you like Zelda videos, that's what this guy specializes in, so go check him out. Anywho, I think the majority of you know what I mean when I say that these rocks are one of the most bizarre things in Ocarina of Time. But for those of you that don't, well, if you strike these stones with your sword, they bounce around and give the time of day. When you mash them with the Megaton hammer, they squish down. And when you bomb them, they count down and then rock into the air. But when you talk to one of them with the Mask of Truth on, the stone will give you a piece of gossip it overheard, thus earning them their names. And it's this latter aspect of the Gossip Stones that really got me wondering. Could these actually be based on anything? I've never seen anything put into a game by Miyamoto or Tezuka that didn't have a purpose or an inspiration. And for as random as these rocks are, I don't think they were just a runaway gag these two put in Ocarina of Time. Now, a lot of cultures have a lot of important rocks, so what was the actual first clue that led me to believe that these were Irish, if not just Celtic? Well, one of the other quirky properties of the Gossip Stones is that if you play Zelda's Lullaby, the Sun Song, or the Song of Storms, a fairy will pop out of it for you to use, capture, or just let float away. I mean, fairies. You know, one of the most well-known fae creatures to come from Celtic culture. Apparently, they can live inside of stones and other aspects of nature and are very fond of music. Some even believe that a lot of music was passed down to mankind through the fae. So, yeah, I can't explain the squishing, rocketing, or the telling of time, but this started me down a rabbit hole. A rabbit hole of, good lord, do you people have any idea how much stones play into Irish folklore? I'm sure everybody knows about the Blarney Stone that gives you the gift of gab if you pucker up to it. But have you ever heard of the Clochón Full, the Hole Stone? This thing's apparently used as a seal to a massive tomb, and the hole in the middle is used to deliver food to the dead. Or how about the Clochón Ballet, the Stone of the Tree, representing a tree growing out of the bottom of Loch Gur, which some believe gave access to the otherworld or even Yggdrasil. Rocks are freaking nuts in Celtic folklore. And after more digging, through stone after stone, of folk story after folk story, I think I found it. Now, before I get too far into this, I gotta state that this is all wild speculation. I wasn't there when Miyamoto and Tezuka were fleshing out the Gossip Stones, so even though this is my best guess, it's still a guess. Also, to any Irish, Scottish, or Welsh viewers, please forgive my atrocious pronunciations. I'm diving into languages I've never studied before, so please give me a little patience. Alright, first up, Exhibit A, the first Celtic rock that got me rolling downhill finding connection after connection. Liafale, the Speaking Stone. Currently sitting on the hill of Tara in northeast Ireland, this human-height spire was believed to designate each true king of Ireland. When the true heir was to touch the stone or stand on it, it would cry out or roar with joy. It acted as a site for multiple coronations of High Kings of Ireland up until around 500 CE. It was also said that the stone itself had the power to revitalize the true king of Ireland should they fall sick or weak. And for generations, it was said that the stone would continue to roar out for each king that touched it. That was until Cuchulainn, Irish hero and apparent demigod, split the stone with his sword as it failed to cry out for his coronation after becoming High King of Ireland. Also, I gotta mention this now because I know someone in the comments is going to. The modern Liafale has been under a lot of controversy lately since the 2010s, but that's neither here nor there. My point is, do you see where some of the connections lie? I mean, first of all, it's a mythological talking stone, and one that only answers to one individual, much in the same way that the Gossip Stones only speak to Link when he's wearing the Mask of Truth. And not only that, but much like how the Liafale has the ability to heal the High King of Ireland, so too can the Gossip Stones heal Link by depositing a life-giving fairy to him after being played for. Oh, but don't think we're done here, folks, because there's a lot more potential inspirations behind these goofy rocks. Next up is the Whispering Knights of the Rollright Stones. Now, the Whispering Knights alongside the Kingsman Stone are believed to be once humans, a king and remnants of his army that were turned to stone by an evil witch. While some others state that they were turned to stone due to their intended betrayal to the High King of Ireland. Now, I hate to stack theory on top of theory, but I know for a fact that lots of you out there have heard the fairly plausible theory that, for one reason or another, the Gossip Stones are imbued by the spirits of long-dead Sheikah. And I don't have time to go through the whole thing, but basically, something luminous stone from Breath of the Wild glowed with the souls of the dead, something Gossip Stones are made from luminous stone. And with the Sheikah being subservient and protectors of the Hyrule royal family, and knights typically being subservient and protectors of various monarchy, you can kind of see the through line. But perhaps one of the more tangible reasons I bring up the Whispering Knights is the first part of their name. Based on what I could research, the Whispering Knights burial mound is constructed in such a way that gives it some pretty odd auditory properties. Some suggest that due to its positioning, the stones can either alter or even create unique sound properties, thus giving stones the ability to incoherently whisper, with some folks believing that the petrified knights are trying to tell people of what they've seen. I admit these connections might be a little rough, but they're not outside the realms of possibility. But this one stone, this final stone, this is the one that really got me thinking that Miyamoto and Tezuka were reaching for Celtic folklore when making the Gossip Stones. The Clochlorush, the Answering Stone or Speaking Stone. A tremendous boulder that makes its home off the side of the road, going between Waterford and Dungarvan. Yeah, I know the gossip stones weren't exactly this massive, but check this out. The multiple legends that involve this stone almost all revolve around the concept of the stone telling a truth or discerning lies. A stone that knew secrets that no one else did. With the most well-known story of this stone involving a man and his disloyal wife. The man took her to the answering stone and told her to say whether or not she was having an affair with someone else. The woman was sly though. She had her extramarital lover standing at the peak of the mountain where she and the stone could see him, but the husband wouldn't be able to see him easily unless he knew he was already there. She said this in response: "I had no more to do with the man that my husband suspects than the man that's standing at the summit of this mountain." The man then asked the stone if she spoke the truth, to which the stone told him that she was, but her backhanded deceit was so terrible and the truth so skewed that the rock itself split in two out of sheer disgust. A split you can see in the stone to this very day. Yeah, you starting to see those connections? A stone that told the truth that few knew? Possibly connected to the gossip stones that have boundless information that not only do most people in Hyrule not know, but are also completely true in their statements. Statements that only could be obtained by wearing the Mask of Truth. Yeah, I know, gang, it's incredibly wild speculation, but man, I can't shake this. I can't prove it, but there's just something in my bones that's telling me that Nintendo were looking hard at Ireland, or at least Celtic folklore, when they were designing these things. There's just too many coincidences here. I don't know, what do you all think? Did Miyamoto make the gossip stones as Celtic cultural conversible chatterboxes? Did it come from something else? Or do you think they just wanted something a bit wacky in the otherwise serious universe of Hyrule? Let me know in the comments below, and a big thank you to Flexispot for sponsoring this video. If you're sick of gamer chairs and want something real to keep your posture in check, or if you've been looking for a new standing desk, check out our link in the description and use the promo code YTE7P50 to get $50 off your E7 standing desk, and Brand Day 30 to get $30 off the C7 chair series. Also, a tremendous thank you to all the patrons that allow us to keep doing this for a living. It's wild to think we've been breaking down culture and gaming for over 12 years now, and we absolutely could not do it without all of you. So thank you so much, guys. And as always, everyone, if you want to learn even more culture through your favorite anime, movies, games, and more, sub up, get notified, and until next time, everyone, this is Gaijin Goomba, signing out.